introduction stuff. Hello, everyone. So this is my first podcast, and I've got an amazing guest today. This is Nik. Now, we met, I think it was around about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years at the Samuel Lees Academy. So, Nik, I want you to take over and just introduce yourself, please.
First of all, thank you very much, David, for bringing me in this podcast. First guest, right?
Yeah, man.
And really honored to be here as your first guest as well. So my name is Nik Dhimal, ex-Gorkha Army, served 5 years. Now I'm full-time in property. I do the developments and sourcing side and letting side, so all under one house.
Yeah. So that's an amazing achievement, especially coming from the military, especially the Gurkha Regiment, and then coming out and literally changing your life within 2 years. Because when we met,
Yeah.
we were both in the same position, and now you're way, way past me, bro.
No, we are together.
It's amazing to see. So today's podcast, what we're going to talk about is mindset and kind of changing your environment into a better environment. Because obviously, as I know from the Gurkha Regiment, most people come from an underprivileged background, or they've come over here and they've tried to make a success out of their life,
Yeah.
joining the military,
Yeah.
bringing their family over.
Yeah.
And it's very family orientated. So going on that, I want to talk about your family upbringing. What was it like over there, coming from here and stuff like that? So do you mind speaking about that?
Yeah, sure. That's absolutely fine. So, including me, we are 3 brothers,
Yeah.
but we never stayed together.
Yeah.
So, all of us, we studied in India, but
Yeah.
different places. So, I think the maximum days we stayed together is 1 month.
Really?
Yeah. Every time our mom, dad, they separate us.
Yeah.
So, upbringing,
Why did they separate you?
I would say it's regarding the education side.
Okay, yeah.
And regarding brother, I don't know why they separate
The
us.
different age levels, or what's the?
Yeah, I would say 4 years difference.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I'm the middle one. I have
Yeah.
a small brother, and I
So
have
no one
brother.
really liked you.
But I would say, I think that thing helped us now because we are staying together.
Yeah.
Because we never stayed together when we were kids. So now we stay together and we know the brotherhood,
Yeah.
and we find that it's really strong.
Yeah.
So now I'm here doing podcast with you. My
Yeah.
brother is in office. He's just doing viewings for the clients.
Yeah.
So now we can work together. And
Same kind of mentality how
Yeah.
you brought up. So that's come from. Is your mother and dad still together then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, we came. We came back in Nepal.
Yeah.
Then I pursued to join British Army.
Yeah.
And I came over here in 2017.
What
Then
was it like from the transition going from Nepal to obviously United Kingdom? What was it like? What was the hardest transition point? Because I have to take my hat off to anyone that comes from a different country to learn another language and their culture. It is. I don't think I could do it. I possibly could, but I think it's quite hard to transition from going from that because it's completely different. How you present yourself, especially the Gurkha Regiment, it's completely different how English people present themselves.
Yeah.
So, what was the hardest part in your transition coming from Nepal, coming to England, and then joining the military?
I would say the hardest part was just trying to learn about what exactly the difference is.
As
If you know
in,
what I mean. I mean, like regarding how I can connect with these people.
yeah, of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. There might be a language barrier. How can I connect with them?
Yeah.
Right. And other things like what they like, because
Yeah.
we have different traditional background.
Yeah.
So these are the things like I really wanted to get into the British, like what they like,
Yeah.
how I can connect with them, stuff like that. And with the other side, I mean, I used to watch YouTube videos a lot, so
Yeah.
I used to know a little bit about, like, if I want to get into the British community,
Yeah.
I need to prepare my English. I need to
How to
improve.
do it.
Yeah, how to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. Yeah, so things like that. I would say mainly is just how to connect.
Yeah.
That was one of my, I would say, challenging part.
I suppose the accent as well, because you have quite a strong accent, which is good because it comes from your heritage. But then when you come to an English accent
Yeah,
and you join the military,
yeah,
you've got someone from Newcastle and someone from London.
yeah.
You cannot understand a fucking word someone says from Newcastle. So I think that's a hard transition as well. So you've got to give yourself a massive appreciation for doing that. So how was your military career? What was the best parts and the worst parts of your military career?
So best part was, I would say, when I was in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That was the best part because, as you know, the training is like very hard compared to what exactly doing the operation.
Yeah.
So I had a really good time with my team, and the hardest part, I would say, during the training session, because once
Yeah.
we joined the army,
Yeah.
joining the army, the selection is crucial. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
So that's the number one. And after joining the 9 months training,
Yeah.
that was really hard for me.
Yeah.
But
What was the hardest part in the training? Because what I found in certain situations, you might be different with training because we're both ex-military.
Yeah.
So what was Was there a turning point where it was like, yes, this is for fucking me, I want to be a soldier?
Mhm.
Or was there a point where you wanted to leave in training?
So to be honest, I really never wanted to be army.
Yeah,
The main reason I joined was because of my friend. We
yeah,
used to train together. He used to train to join British Army. I used to
yeah,
train for the basketball,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
I used to play basketball. I didn't know you played
No,
basketball.
I
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
I
yeah,
do, I
yeah.
do. So I trained with national players as well, actually, when I was back in Nepal.
Yeah,
So the time we used to train together, and
yeah,
every time in the morning or in the evening, he used to talk about the British Army, that facilities, this, you get this, that. This. I was like, okay, that's good for you, but I'm focused on my own journey,
yeah, yeah,
right? And all of a sudden, he got selected and he joined the British Army. I
yeah.
felt alone.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I feel alone that like no, I need to join the British Army so
yeah,
that I can be with him
yeah.
because all of a sudden now you're alone, that your training partner is
So
gone.
your transition was kind of more of a follow, not a lead at the start.
Yes,
Okay, I
correct,
get. Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
quite different. I mean,
I'm alone. Let's shit. I need to be somewhere else. So you literally followed him. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, exactly. I mean, I did a TikTok video on this one as well, and there was like hate comments and some
yeah,
people like asking different things about which is interesting. So yeah, that was the main thing, and I convinced my father that I want to join British Army, but not the infantry side.
How did you convince him?
It was really hard.
I'm going to say, I know it's going to be very hard from the Nepal background because
Yeah.
they're very stringent on their core values like discipline. How they bring their children up is amazing. It's
Mhm.
very strict, but a discipline kind of attitude. So that must have been a hard transition
Yeah,
for you
yeah.
then.
He
Yeah,
said like, "Shut the fuck up."
yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, yeah.
You're studying here. You're doing this study. You focus on that.
They kind of plan out your life. Is that what you're saying
Yeah, yeah,
before it's
yeah,
even
yeah,
happened?
yeah.
Okay.
He said like, you study this, you have this good future over here.
Yeah,
And I was like, I was trying to find how I can convince my father so I can join British Army. And me and my brother,
yeah.
we made a plan. He made a plan. Let's say he said like there is
You sound
sports.
like you're going to kill your dad. You're making a
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
plan.
So he said that my brother said that there's a sports division in the British Army as well.
Okay, yeah,
So if Nick joined British Army, he
yeah,
can move on to the sports division.
yeah.
Then he can focus on his basketball career. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
that made that okay. Now you can
You
join. In
can
that
do it.
case,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
If unless you are not going to the infantry regiment or thing like that, you can join British Army.
yeah, yeah.
I joined the British Army, and the only regiment I went to infantry.
Divian, I like it. I like it. That's good. So going through your military career,
Yeah.
what did you see? Where did you go? And kind of stuff like how did you find the structure of the army coming from your kind of background? Was
Hmm.
it an easy transition or going from like the discipline side of it? Because it
Yeah.
must have been a little bit easier than most. Like I think the Western culture, should we say, or England, they're very defiant. They don't like being spoken to. They don't like being shouted at. They don't like discipline,
Hmm.
which I found from the military. The
Yeah.
Gurkhas were every time we seen the Gurkhas, they were always in straight lines, didn't speak. That's it. Then you'd have the British soldiers that didn't really care as much.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, what was your kind of turning point in that?
I would say, well, I was away from a family for
Yeah,
like all my childhood, and the upbringing was like there's no softness, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
If you don't like, for example, in kids, if you don't do the homework, there used to be a silver pipe,
yeah,
right? So used to, we are like I was like habituated with this kind of torture. I mean, you have to
yeah,
be in discipline. So I wasn't too much surprised when I joined the British Army. I saw everything like that. So I
yeah,
was like, okay, comfortable. I've been doing this for
yeah,
a
yeah,
long time now. This is no different. But
yeah, yeah,
people who had never had like shout from the family or thing like that, they were pretty shocked
yeah,
when they
yeah,
joined the British Army because you are transitioned from civil life to British Army.
yeah,
There's a amount of like discipline you have to be,
yeah, yeah,
right? For me, it was I was really comfortable actually with the
yeah, yeah.
discipline and everything when I
So,
joined the
how
army.
was your childhood back then with your parents? Was your dad very strict? Was your mum more loving? And how was it with them? Like,
Um, my mom was she was very strict.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And my dad was like soft guy.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
like but not in a like he used to give me the reasons or the way he used to talk is like makes sense,
He
right?
explained
He
things. He didn't.
explains
Yeah, yeah,
really well, and
yeah,
like
yeah,
that makes me think like why I'm doing this. Yeah, he's right. I'll follow that.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But my mom like no.
Just one answer. You listen
Yeah,
to me. Nothing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's an amazing from your dad, though,
Hmm.
to learn that transition. Like, I'm a newly father. I've got two under two, and learning how kids express themselves. There's a famous saying in there that when I think it's if you give me the boy for 7 years, I'll show you the man.
Hmm.
Because the first 7 years of a child's life, that's where their brain development comes in, their emotions, and that's how they pick up. You might not think you take it in,
Yeah.
but emotionally you do, and that's probably served you from then to now,
Yep.
where you can be because you're very kind, Do you know what I
I
mean? You're
appreciate
very
that.
approachable, but you don't take shit.
Mhm.
So you got a bit of your mum and dad there from me just knowing you for the last couple of years. So yeah, fair play to your mum and dad for
I
teaching that.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
it's good,
appreciate
man.
that. Yeah, that's just different. What I felt is that from my dad's side, I was always scared of him, even
Yeah,
though he never ever bit me.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
always scared of him. The way he explained and the consequence,
yeah,
even though
yeah,
I never went through that, but that just give respect towards him. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's that respect and fear in it. You like you respect him.
yeah,
It's not fearful in a bad way. It's feeling like if I do something like I'm gonna get battered here
yeah,
or I'm gonna get
yeah,
shouted at. I
yeah.
don't want that. So that's good. He's opened up. He's that's really good knowing that. That's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
good.
I
Yeah,
think that's how we should upbring, isn't it? Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Instead of just torturing or just putting in the pressure,
yeah,
just showing them a respect.
yeah,
If your kids respect you, then that's totally different.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I really like that.
So what elements of say your upbringing from your mum and dad and your siblings would you take into your fatherhood when you have kids?
I would just say explain things and just show them what's going on exactly
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of trying to hide or just not showing what exactly happened behind doors. Just showing them, okay, this is what happening in the family. Just show them,
Explain it more.
explain
Yeah, yeah,
everything so that they can understand
yeah, yeah,
what they're going through.
yeah, yeah,
Because if they don't go through this thing, it, when they grow up, it's completely different.
yeah,
So I don't
yeah.
want to make like that.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm. Because of my upbringing, I've had to find different ways to teach my kids. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, I listen to a lot of audio books about how to teach kids from people who have gone through trauma.
Yeah.
So I'm so more open now with my kids where I can, for instance, say if my little boy does something not wrong, but
Hmm.
does something from an emotional point of view, because that's how kids work, is
Yeah.
emotion.
Yeah.
You can't teach kids; they just absorb. If I tell a kid no, he
Yeah.
forgets about it. But if I come down to his level,
Hmm.
speak to him, let's do it a different way. This is how it should be done. That it sets, I think, like a chemical imbalance in their brain, not imbalance, but a balance in their brain. Like, right, I'm not supposed to do it like this. I'm supposed to do it the opposite way.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking, oh, I'm not supposed to do it. I don't want to set a fear into him that he can't do anything because I feel like kids should do things dangerously
Hmm.
but safely.
Yeah.
No, with supervision. I'll let my kid get on a bed. If he wants to jump off, that's fine, but he does it with my supervision.
Hmm.
So I don't want him to be scared of
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like
I
that.
like that actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
think it's
like
the
that.
best way. Like that's what I've been trying to we have two different parenting skills, like a mother and a father. I think
Mhm.
I'd let him do something if he falls.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. Like do it again, do it again. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So with moving on to that,
Mhm.
with you and your partner,
Yeah.
um, how did you meet and how is the relationship? Because I know you're both very determined and have a great mindset together.
Mhm.
How does that work? Like, how did you meet? Should we go into
So actually, we studied in the same school.
that? Yeah,
Yeah, we studied in the same school, and she is very good at studies.
yeah, yeah.
So she was studying science, and yeah, and the reason she came in UK was to pursue her studies, like to be a doctor.
Really? Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And then, f- I mean, yeah. So we used to have normal conversation. Then
yeah.
I felt like instead of wasting my time, I'll just propose her. Right?
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
yeah, I would
How
rather.
far was this into? This wasn't like you just seen her once and proposed to her.
No, no. So we used to see each other
Yeah.
back in school days.
Okay. Yeah.
And there was a gap, and I joined British Army. After joining British Army, I was like, now everyone were getting married,
Yeah.
right? Some of them were like just chasing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, do I want to follow that? Do I want to follow this? I was like, I'll rather find a girl
Yeah.
that I'll marry her, I'll stick with her, and I'll focus on my goals.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
So
course. Yeah.
that yeah, that's how we got married. And
Mhm.
she came in the UK to study doctor. And after a year of
Yeah.
her studies, I was like, I was doing rent to rent anyway,
Yeah.
and I was completely different world. She was completely different world,
Yeah.
and we couldn't understand each other. I felt like
From a different world. What do you mean from her? From a corporate background or that kind of thing, and you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you mean that way or?
no, no. So she was busy in studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was busy with the business side,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
and even with the regarding the family as well, because whenever I used to come home, I'm busy with the business, like what's going on, what should I do, and she was completely. So basically,
Yeah.
when someone is studying or doing jobs, they want to have family time,
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
need to know what's going on, what's the next plan when we are going on vacation and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when she used to ask me this question, I have no answers because
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just focused on my business like that. And
Because
after,
laser vision.
yeah, laser
Yeah, yeah,
vision,
yeah,
I
yeah.
felt that if I keep on doing like that, we're gonna separate because we are not, our
Mm,
conversation, our everything is going just different path. And I feel like you join me in the business,
yeah.
right? And I used to take her to the events, different places.
And how was she finding it when she?
That surprises me actually. She got really interested into this,
Yeah,
and I still say the moment she joined the business, after the few months, the business just went
yeah.
both because she can see the things that I don't see, the problems.
She added to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
problems where I focus on different things, she can find the problem and rectify the problem.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's the, I think, power between couples when they focus on the same goal.
yeah, yeah,
You can you can, yeah, even though you, when you're in the same goal, you can see things where she is missing out,
yeah,
or
yeah,
she can find the problems where you missed out. I
yeah.
think that will really help.
Many arguments, or is it more discussions? Like,
Mixed.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
mixed.
'Cause I suppose that's good to have in a relationship as and a business because you're always going to come into curveballs, disagreements.
Hmm.
But if you can work together and
Yeah,
find a positive out of any situation, which I think you're great at, is a defining moment in a relationship and a business. Because sometimes the egos can get involved a little bit and stuff like that.
yeah,
But in a relationship, if you two are working together simultaneously like that, it's a good, should we say, business to have.
yeah,
But
yeah.
how does that affect your relationship? Is it more business? Do you take time off to like spend time together and stuff like that? Or
Now,
yeah,
I mean, now it's a lot easier actually
yeah,
because now we don't separate life and life balance and anything like that because we don't believe that anyway.
yeah,
So we're just trying to, what we are doing, trying to do is create our life and business together,
yeah, yeah.
if that makes sense.
So it don't feel like a job, or it don't feel
Exactly,
like something. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Now, in the morning we come in the office at 8
yeah.
until 9, 10. We don't feel like a job actually. We just
As in
enjoy.
9:10 a.m. or
PM,
p.m. I'm gonna
PM.
say you're in the office for an hour and just fuck off.
No, no.
So moving on. So obviously we met. I think it was probably 2, 3 years ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think 2.5.
Samuel at the
Yeah, yeah,
Samuel
yeah, yeah,
Leeds.
yeah. At that time I used to work in the sales team when, even though
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was in the
Was it a
army.
train station I met you?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
met you
yeah.
there. Yeah, I think you still had the same suit. So how did your kind of career and your movement from say going to the military now going into you started a rent to rent business, right?
Yeah, I started with that. Yeah.
And how did that go? And what did you learn from that?
Um. Well, with the rent to rent business, I think what I did was completely different than what our culture teaches us to do, like sharing what you do,
Yeah,
because people hide what they do.
100%.
Yeah. And I completely different. I went in the social media, look, I'm doing this business. If you want to invest, come in,
Yeah, yeah,
invest with me. I'll do the work. You just invest.
yeah,
That's how I raise money.
yeah,
And the rent to rent business, that didn't win as per plan, but
yeah,
I'm really grateful for the lesson I have learned from that business
yeah,
because that's the basically how I'm where I am today with that
yeah.
because of the business. And all my rendering properties were in London.
Yeah.
I was based in Wales.
So the travel,
The travel.
because you have to be there.
Yeah.
Rent to rent, people probably think. So for my audience who is watching,
Yeah.
can you just explain what rent to rent is on a simple, just kind of basis?
Yeah, sure. So rent to rent is basically you rent a whole house,
Yeah,
like 4 or 5 bedrooms house. Then you rent out each room by room per month. So
yeah,
instead of one tenant, you have 5 different tenants,
yeah,
and you charge for the room and the bills included.
yeah,
So you pay certain percent to the landlord, you pay the bills, and the remaining is the difference is the basic profit.
yeah.
So that's the rent to rent business.
I think that's what gets people sucked in because it's explained very easy,
Hmm.
but there is so many pitfalls. For instance,
Yes.
contracts,
Yeah.
getting a contract,
Right
subletting the
contract. Yeah.
property,
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
whether it's fits in that area, whether the landlord like there's obviously clauses in the contract where they can come out of it straight away or
Hmm.
3 or 6 months. So what was the pitfall that changed your mind about rent to rent?
Pitfall, I would say, mainly about the management side,
Yeah,
because with the rent to rent, you're not managing one tenant, you're managing 5 different tenants,
yeah,
different background,
yeah,
right, different habits, and yet I had worst problem.
yeah,
One blaming other one is a drug dealer.
yeah.
This kind of blames where they want to kick out the tenant. So this kind of, if you want to get into rent to rent, you
Yeah.
have to make sure that you have the system.
The ambience, the yin
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yang. It's like so.
yeah.
So what you're trying to say is, say like you've got 5 rooms,
Hmm.
you can't really have 5 different, not yeah, five, say for instance, five different culture groups,
Hmm. Hmm.
because they all have different opinions and how they want to live. Some people may be more dirtier
Hmm.
in the kitchen, they might live something like that.
Yeah,
And realistically, if someone's annoyed, you're getting a call at 12 o'clock at night in Wales to
exactly.
change a light bulb in London
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And
yeah,
so that's not counterproductive. And also, did it cost you money sometimes?
yeah. In rent to rent, I wouldn't say that made me loss.
Yeah,
It just balanced basically. But if I want to start rent to rent, I'll never ever touch that thing.
yeah,
The completely changed my mind.
yeah.
I mean, it's just different thing because some people they want to do it, but
Yeah,
for me now I have bigger visions. But
yeah,
I'll never touch that now because I've learned everything. I'm grateful for that.
yeah, yeah.
I just shifted my vision actually.
So going from the rent to rent business, and then I want to talk to you about obviously what you're doing now in property.
Mhm.
So going from the rent business, you have four properties that you own by yourself now? Is it
Now it's 7.
seven? There we
Yeah,
go. Freaking hell, seven. That's amazing. Going from that seven
yeah.
properties that you own. So how did you go from 0 to 7?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I sat down with my wife and said, like, yes, we are doing rent to rent business, but that is not actually adding portfolio in our
It's just
company.
quick cash.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
yeah,
just quick cash. And the thing about rent to rent is, let's say you make a 500 cash flow this month.
yeah,
In next month, there's a something problem with the house
yeah, yeah,
because you have to imagine there's not one tenant, there's 5 10 tenants,
yeah.
something problem, then 500 gone.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, that changed my mind. Like, yes, we are doing this business, but actually we're not adding asset in our business
yeah,
company. What's the other strategy we can jump on?
yeah,
Right? Let's focus on BRR.
yeah,
I wrote a note in my diary and like this date I'll complete the BRR course and I'll
yeah,
start raising finance.
yeah.
So
So BRR stands for buy, refurbish, refinance. If
and
no one don't know.
rent or sell it.
Yeah, yeah,
And yes, so after that, I completed the course.
yeah,
Then again with the same strategy because people saw all my posts I made during the rent to rent business,
yeah,
and the investor who invested during that business, I paid them all.
yeah,
And now people can see my business. I'm in property. So with the BR again, I follow the same strategy, raising finance
yeah.
through social media. After 2 months, I raised around £80,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
£80,000, and then I just started.
So that brought your first property
Yes,
to renovate it,
yep.
and then did you flip that one or did you retain that
I
one?
still have that property till
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And the surprising fact is, I a few months ago I called my agent
yeah.
to see if I want to refinance this property. The property price doubled now.
Doubled.
Yeah, I was so surprised.
So when did you buy the property? What
Oh,
year?
2020.
2020.
Yeah,
So within 3 years and a
yeah,
little bit,
yep,
it's doubled in price.
yep.
So what did you buy it for?
I bought the for 45 grand.
And what was the renovation
I would say
costs?
everything including 20,000.
20,000.
Yeah,
So you bought it for how much? Sorry,
45.
45. So we're talking 65 grand.
Yes.
Yeah,
And when I called my citizens asking just if I want to put this property back in the market for sale, he
yeah.
said like 110 or 120.
110. So that's an all out money deal.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like,
Because
wow.
you're leaving 25% in on
Mhm.
the buy to let and you take the 75% on the remortgage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you pulled all your money out of that property.
No, I haven't refinanced it yet.
You've not
Yeah.
refinanced it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
okay, yeah.
the time after the renovation when I refinanced, the valuation was 75 grand.
Okay, yeah.
That was back in 2020
And it's
after
gone
the
up.
renovation.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but this is after a few years now.
So
When
3 years.
I asked my agent if I want to sell it, the price 110 or
Yeah,
120 is
yeah.
going on the market.
So what's your plan with that one? Because my preference would be to just refinance it, get the money out to a different one,
Yeah.
or would you sell it? Because realistically, it's an asset
Mhm.
and it will give you generational wealth. That is just, it's just a cash machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every 3 to 4 years, if it goes up, you just take money out, money out, money out, money out, money out.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with it?
I will just refinance, like you said.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no tax.
Exactly.
Refinance it and
Yeah,
just invest because that's a free money, isn't it?
exactly. Yeah. So if you take the money out of the property, obviously you so-called pay corporation tax, but if you put it into another project, you
Mhm.
don't pay corporation tax. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
perfect.
no, I don't think you have to pay when you refinance because the loan.
That's what I mean. So
Yeah, yeah.
when you take it out, it's going into another property, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
You mean from the company to
yeah,
personal?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, no, no, no.
yeah,
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 yeah. If you do that, you have to pay corporation tax.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Mm.
So obviously that set a bit of a domino effect with
Yeah,
the properties. You did that one.
yeah.
Then how did it go from literally, well, within 3 years, you've gained 7 properties, which is pretty phenomenal. Like some people don't even get one in a lifetime.
Mhm.
So going through there, how did you kind of like progress it and elevate it?
As you know me, I go with the mindset of domination.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
do
yeah,
something, I go 100% in. I would
yeah,
rather I will never do it, or if I do it, I'll go 100%.
Yeah,
So with that, when I bought the first property,
yeah,
that gave me more confidence,
yeah,
and I started raising continuously, start raising finance, and I bought all the property in a year.
yeah, yeah.
So raised over £1 million.
That's man. So over a year, you raised
Yeah,
£1 million.
yeah, and
Yeah,
bought 7 properties in a year.
in a
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah. No, no.
that's it.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
bought all this property in a year, and yeah, just refinancing.
And
Put
what was the average price of the houses? So, say for instance, £1 million. People may think that's a lot, but it's
hmm
not.
hmm
To get properties at that level, what are you buying? Are you buying like 100 to 120,000 pound houses, adding, or you below 100 grand?
I would say between 110 to 80,000.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
on average, these are the price of the houses.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, buying those kind of houses, refinancing it, renovating it, refinancing, giving back to the investors,
yeah, yeah.
and again,
And obviously, all these costs have to be incorporated. So, for instance, the finance, obviously, the legals, and
yeah,
not like paying back your investors, whether you're doing 8 to 10% or whatever you're doing back, that has to be put into the final figure, right?
yes,
Yeah,
correct,
okay,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. What I'm thinking when I'm doing raising all these finances, I don't, I mean, expect a return from the property immediately.
yeah.
I would rather give that cash flow to investor for a few years because that property is for free.
Of course, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's what I do because to be honest, I'm not making any money immediately from all the properties.
yeah,
So when I refinance, I give money back to investors, and if there's certain amount left, I just give from the rental income to them.
yeah, yeah.
And that's how I am returning to my investors.
It's a good mindset because a lot of people would think, I think this generation thinks quick buy, quick cash,
Yeah,
quick life kind of thing. What you've done there is that you've gained obviously £1 million worth of property. For instance, if you don't touch them houses in 30 years and you give them to your kids, they're going to be worth 3 mil.
yeah, exactly.
100%.
hmm
There's how obviously the structure of the how it works every 10 years, obviously with the recession and stuff like that, and the rebounds and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's mad thinking that you can just sit on them properties and you can just give them. If you have 3 kids, they've got, do you know what I mean, a
yeah,
million pound each.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, what's your avenue now? Then, obviously, we spoke before, obviously, because we're friends. So, going from the property journey now,
hmm
I know you're scaling. So, what's your plan now going forward? From because you're not really bothered about the properties now, right?
No, no.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I'm not bothered about the property. I don't. I mean, check whether the rentals come in and
got
not.
bored of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my wife's dealing with that.
yeah,
I'm just focusing on the thing.
yeah.
So just this year, within like few months, we made over 100,000 from
100,000.
sourcing. Yeah.
Just from
So yeah,
sourcing.
just from sourcing.
Can you explain a bit about what sourcing properties are to my audience?
Yeah, sure. This might be, yeah. What on average, what sourcing is basically you have an investor.
Yeah,
They have certain criteria, either BRR again with the
yeah,
rundown houses, or buy to let investors,
yeah.
or there are different other strategy where where you have an investor but they don't have time to find the properties.
Of course, yeah,
For me, it's especially buy to let investors.
yeah,
Right. What I do is they have a certain budget,
yeah,
right, and they come to me
yeah,
and they want to buy a house where they have a decent cash flow and a capital appreciation in the future.
yeah,
So then I go and find the house for them
yeah,
and I package them and I source it to them.
yeah,
So I started that for a few months.
yeah,
Then I realized, how can I make another cash flow from the same business?
yeah,
And then I collaborate with with the mortgage company.
yeah.
Now people come in, I find the house, we have mortgage in house.
So you're getting commission off the mortgages.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And even for client when they come in, they have to do one click.
Yeah.
Mortgage is done, house is done.
So you find the property. Obviously, you find the investor.
hmm
You find the property. Obviously, you have to possibly teach the investor because sometimes they're a sit back investor where they don't know anything about property,
Yeah,
and you have to teach little things to them because I guarantee they're going to get anxiety. They're going to get nervous because
yeah.
you've got their money and you're going through the process. So, is there any pitfalls with using investors? What have you found, and how do you deal with it?
hmm
So, for instance, say I'm an investor, you've got my money, I call you up 3 months later.
Yeah.
Why don't you find me a property yet?
I mean that yeah that happened a few times actually. What we yeah, that's the reason why we have agreement in place,
Yeah,
saying that this is the agreement. We have this certain time to
yeah,
find the property. If we don't find any property, we'll give you a refund.
perfect. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and we update you on every property we viewed. If there's any potential, we'll give you update
yeah, yeah.
so that you don't have to chase us what's happening.
Because communication is
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
key.
I
Yeah, yeah,
understand 100%. So yes, that's what happened. I mean, there are only two people so far. We have sourced over 35 to 40 properties.
that's amazing. Yeah, yeah,
Only two clients where I have refunded.
yeah.
That's not our fault actually.
Yeah,
That's client where they cannot make a decision,
of
decisive. Yeah,
course. Yeah,
we find the property. negotiate the property. Property is ready to go.
Yeah.
Mortgage is ready. Solicitor is ready, and the
Nerves.
client can't make decision.
Yeah.
And
A nervous investor is not a
yeah,
good investor.
yeah. Or I would say just trying to play around. Oh, what's good? What's everything? Even though everything is ready, everything ticks in the box.
Yeah.
And well, I thought like if it's been 2 weeks now, property's already there. It's off
Yeah.
the market. Agent is chasing me. Solicitor is chasing me. What's happening? And the client
Yeah.
can't make decision. I was like, if I keep on doing like this, I'll lose a relation with my agents,
Yeah.
my team. I would rather give the refund to the client and
Of course,
focus
yeah.
on the client who are ready and serious.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and that's unnecessary headache as well, actually.
Because you've got to keep your reputation and you've got to
Exactly.
kind of give your relationship not just to the agent as well, because that's paramount. If you lose a relationship with your agent where you're constantly falling back on agreements with the properties,
Yeah,
they're not going to send you properties.
exactly.
So that's going to cost you money in the long run. So the best thing to do, cut your ties,
Yeah.
keep friends and obviously relationship with the investor
Hmm.
and obviously the agent saying we will get another investor straight away,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I like that, man. So doing that, so what's your plan now in the next year? Have you got a year goal, a 3-year goal, 5-year goal? What's your preference? What do you do?
Yeah. So after mortgage, we have
Yeah.
now solicitor as well,
Yeah.
because we have the house finding business.
Yeah.
We have the mortgage. Then we had a complaint from the client saying that the solicitor they're using not giving the response in time,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
No communication.
Yeah.
Because of that, that's delaying the completion process.
Yeah.
I was like, how can I add another service so
Yeah.
that I can give better service to my client and
Yeah.
I can add cash flow in my business as well?
Yeah.
Let's have solicitor in place.
So when you add service and
Yeah.
value,
Yeah.
the money will always come to you. When you can
Exactly.
offer the world value and obviously a service,
Yeah.
it will trickle feed. So
Hundred
that's it.
percent. 100%.
So you've got obviously your powerhouse doing obviously property,
Hmm.
and then you've got your mortgage,
Yeah.
and then you've got your solicitors.
Yeah.
What else have you got?
And lettings.
And lettings as well. We spoke about this
Yeah.
actually when we met up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit about that. So what's your mindset about that? What do you want out of this letting?
Well, to be honest, my only focus in sourcing houses,
Yeah.
right? I don't spend a minute in lettings. I
Yeah.
have a full team.
Yeah.
I have a manager and I have like 4 team members
Yeah.
in the company. I
So
just
social housing, did you say?
no, just normal lettings.
Okay, normal
Normal,
lettings.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So what I did was after solicitor,
Yeah.
when solicitor in place, the client were like feeling uncomfortable giving these properties to agent where they have never ever bought property outside where they live.
Yeah. Okay, got you.
Yeah, that gave them a little bit uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can I make another cash flow again?
Yeah.
Right? And how can I give another service to the client? And I made a plan. Let's make a letting company. Let's open a letting company. Let's bring all the houses under our letting company.
Yeah.
And that way our client will feel comfortable
Yeah.
and that will bring cash flow in the business as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I have now house finding,
Yeah.
mortgage, solicitor, and lettings.
Yeah.
And the matter, in fact, a surprise thing is I would like to share with you.
Yeah. Of course.
So
Yeah.
that now all the team who are working with me,
Yeah.
they started getting messages from the other companies, like mortgage companies, or other basically people who are feeling threatened with my vision, action, and everything. And they,
Oh,
why you're working with Nick?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Of course.
why
Yeah.
you're working with Nick? He's not a good guy. Why you're working with him? And the people who are who's working with me, they know the results we are producing,
Yeah. Of course.
and they
Yeah.
said like, you have never worked with Nick Dhimal. Just shut up.
Yeah. Of
Don't
course.
talk
Yeah.
anything yet. You have never worked with him. And I think the reason they are saying those kind of messages to my friends or team who are working with me because they feel threatened. Imagine starting from the same place.
Yeah.
One guy is going there and you
Yeah.
are still over there. You want to feel good,
That's when
isn't
you
it?
know you're on the right track.
Yeah, yeah,
I listened to someone quote. Someone was the quote the other day. If you have a problem with me,
yeah.
call me. If you don't have my number to call me,
Then
you
you don't
don't
want
have
to.
enough to obviously have a
Yeah,
problem with me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So so obviously you know you're on the right path because when people get involved in your stuff, especially when the growth that you're having, and obviously people get fearful in a way. Um, so how have you kind of what I've noticed from this conversation, you always say, "How can I better this?"
Hmm.
You never said stop. If it don't work, obviously you could offer up the rent to rent business.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you know you just cut it dead. So what process going forward now are you going to make into your mindset? So if you can give me some like core values that you stand by, for instance, the army core values are obviously courage, discipline, respect, integrity, loyalty, and selfless commitment.
Yeah.
What do you take into your business and your environment and the people that you work with? Is there like strategies you have to have like mindset or
Yeah, we have one mantra that is
yeah,
work very hard and be
yeah,
loyal to yourself. Because if you're not loyal to yourself, you
yeah.
can't be loyal to anyone.
So work very hard,
Yeah,
loyal to yourself.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. Because if you're honest with yourself, then
yeah,
you can be honest with anyone, and anyone can trust you.
Yeah.
And after that messages, I message in my group chat with the team.
Yeah.
We're gonna double the attack.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna work. We're gonna put more hard work. We're gonna attack, like we're gonna dominate all this industry.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna disrupt the industry. And what happened was funny thing. That was a few days ago.
Mhm.
So, for example, I don't want to name the company. So
Yeah.
you have a company, lit company,
Yeah.
and you are managing certain people properties, right?
Yeah.
And those people now want to join me,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And those people contact me. Our team said like, this is what we offer, and yeah, those client contacted you. I want to move to Nik Dhimal company now. I want to
Mhm.
work with him.
Yeah.
And you say, how much is he offering? This is, I'll give that deal to you.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
see, the
Yeah.
people are now
So
threatened, like,
that, yeah. So they're
yeah,
undercutting you, kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, trying to compete with the price. But this is not about the battle about the price. This is battle about the outwork and the service to clients.
Quality over
Quality,
quantity. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are focusing on all over the England with my letting team,
Yeah.
right? And all the people now, they're bringing property under our company,
Yeah.
which is good to see. And people who are already in the business now feeling threatened. I think that's the reason why they are passing this message.
Mm.
Don't work with Nick. Basically, all the negative things that which
Yeah.
is incorrect, just
Yeah.
to
Of
make
course.
me feel bad in the community,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is good to see because that makes me feel that I'm going the right
Because you
path.
can laugh at it,
Yeah,
and not just that. I think it helps you reflect back on yourself and your morals. Where if what they were saying were true,
hmm
you'd be a bit nervous about it. Do
exactly.
you know what I mean? But because you're not, you're just like, fuck off. I'm doing my
Yeah,
own thing. If you don't want to come with me or help me, then just fuck off.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that's what's going on in the backside of the business. So at the moment, I'm focusing on how can I replace myself with someone so
Yeah.
that he or she can do everything,
Yeah.
and I can focus on the big stuff, like I did say it in the London.
Yeah.
So I can focus on big stuff. So my goal will be now focusing on land,
Yeah.
right, and just new builds property, building properties.
Yeah. 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 That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you had obviously. I'm not going to speak about it too much, but obviously I've seen that you had a big meeting yesterday. So that's going to go amazing for you.
that was amazing. And you
Yeah.
just see the mindset. Actually, I can't name the person, so he's ex Skorka as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? When we there, I didn't know he was ex Skorka. The way he talked with me, I felt like, are you in the army? And you
You,
know
you,
what he's
you know, don't you?
yeah, yeah.
You know.
And you know what he said?
Right.
Brother, don't start the conversation. That is boring. If you want to talk about the army, I'll just leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Talk about what we are going to do now.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
talk about the old
The
stuff.
past.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, wow,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
this guy is like,
No bullshit.
yeah,
Straight
no,
to the
but just
point.
straight point to point. And yeah, the conversation was all about the international things and investment. I was like, and he have given me structure how to build my company.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, the big companies, there's huge potential now. The only thing is I have to work and show him that I can
Yeah.
do that.
And he's kind of showed you there. Don't waste my fucking time.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the best thing to do when I've had kind of meetings with investors or spoke and stuff like that. Sometimes you can get caught up in the not the boring conversation. I think when you're an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
you want to get to the point.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Why am I here? We've got half an hour. If
Yeah.
it's not done in half an hour, I don't want to speak to you. You need to be that blunt because
Yeah.
your time's really important. That's the one thing we can't get back in this life. So you're not wasting a conversation. You might be getting a good relationship, but I think it's good to put in a plan when you go to a meeting. Like when we meet up,
Yeah.
we'll say like we'll meet up for an hour. And then when it comes to the hour, right, sound, see you later, Mo. Like, do you know what I mean? We're not carrying on another half an hour because that puts you back and stuff like that.
Yeah. So every time we meet, there's a value added to each other, and we can just go out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that
Are you drinking gin or?
no, no,
No,
that,
not this time.
no, just having normal drinks. So yeah, I sat down with him, and he talked about all the things that he's doing on at the moment, and I
Yeah,
was just shocked. And
yeah,
these people are talking about hundreds of millions.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
talking about 1, 2 million, and that changed my mind as well.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
talking as if these are like few pounds.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And okay, that shifted my mind. Just having conversation with him as well, that just shifted my mind. I'm thinking too small.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, like I said, he have given me some tasks to do.
yeah.
If I do it and if I impress him, and yeah,
And
this is
you're
gonna
building that
blow up.
relationship because
Yeah,
he likes,
yeah,
knows, and trusts you, and that's the
yeah,
best way to build a
yeah,
relationship.
yeah.
So I think people get in the mindset. I'm like it from that generational thing where money is evil,
hmm
money is just all about the higher power and stuff like that. But trying to think about money in different perspectives, like £100 is a lot of money,
hmm
but £1,000 is too. But they're very close. The same as £100,000 and
hmm
£1,000,000 are
Exactly.
very
Just
close.
different with the desert.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all it is. It's just I believe in energy. Everything's energy. Money is just a source of energy. It's you touch it, it's material,
exactly.
just like a car.
100%.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
money is responsible never to make you happy or anything
yeah.
like that. It's just a piece of paper. It's just you. If you have bad intention with more money, it will make you. Yeah, your bad intention will keep on growing.
It's your
If you,
belief system,
yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Behind something.
If you're good, then your more money will make you help more people.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
just person. I think, and the reason people say this because if you see those people who are saying money is not everything, they are broke.
They don't have anything.
Yeah, they don't have anything. They want to feel good about themselves. So best to do is just blame on the money so they feel good and comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, he's greedy.
yeah,
He's bad. He have a lot of money.
yeah, yeah.
Just make them feel good.
Just perception, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like I know millionaires, like
yeah,
probably you do, that speak about money and different things. Like, oh, money's not everything. Money's not this and that. It's because they've not found their purpose sometimes,
exactly.
and they've not found how to enjoy life from because they've been so focused on about building money. You haven't spoke about money once, which I've noticed about the conversation. It's all about growth
Hmm.
and bringing something to your life because the best way to build a business is get out the business as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So you're not working in the business, you're working kind of away from it. So I think that's another great a mentality from you, which I know you think, I know you've got it, but do you speak about your mindset or your mental health to anyone? Like, because of the stress that you're going through for your business, which is a
Hmm.
lot of stress,
Hmm.
but it's good stress
Yeah.
because there's progression.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
there's no progression, there's stress. It's the same like working in an environment when you say if I work in an office,
Yeah.
I'm going to the same job. It's the
Yeah.
same fucking stress. It's the same bullshit. You're getting told off by your boss. There's no progression. But when you've got stress, freaking I can't speak. Stress
You need
and
gin.
yeah, I did. I think what you giving me in that cappuccino, bro. But when you've got stress
Hmm.
and progression, it equals. Do you
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes.
So could you explain to me about mindset and mental health? Have you had any mental health problems, obviously, from your background growing up into your adulthood to your army career and now? Because I think you're the person that wouldn't really speak about it.
Hmm.
But have you had anything that's ever caused you like, I can't do this no more? Like that? Have you ever been depressed? Have you had anxiety about stuff and stuff like that?
To be honest, David, no, because
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, because the thing is, I don't have time to think about these things.
Which is good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
really busy on, like I said, I'm really busy on what I can do,
yeah,
how I can bring value. Like
yeah,
for like today morning, I was in the gym.
yeah,
After the gym, I went to the office,
yeah,
mailed few agents.
yeah,
Right now, we are taking another office as well to
yeah,
make our studio for podcast everything, and
yeah,
hiring another team. Now I'm here with you doing podcast.
yeah,
After
yeah,
I go back to office, doing some interviews
yeah,
with the
yeah,
new stuff, and then set up the studio. So I'm really busy every time. So when you're busy, you don't have time to think about this.
yeah, yeah,
And what I do is, yes, you get tired,
yeah,
you need rest. Like I was yesterday, I was like tired, knackered when I came
yeah,
back
yeah.
from London. I just had a little rest, and today morning I'm back in fresh. And
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
there to?
Because you're on your mission.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I
And
mean?
I think it's just different with problem how you view with the lens.
Yeah,
For example, I share this with my team. Problems equals to happiness.
yeah,
The more problems you solve, the more happiness you'll get. Because
yeah, yeah, yeah,
if you have a goal, right,
yeah, yeah.
and you focus on that, you go through all the obstacles and you could go through all the challenges and you achieve that, you'll be happy as
Massive
hell.
achievement,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
this difference how you view the things.
yeah.
With the problem, if you just I mean, what you call it, if you just run away from problems and you start blaming yourself, then that's
They're
the
never going away.
yeah.
The problems are never
They
going
keep on
away.
chasing you.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
you just solve it, that gives you happiness.
Of course, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I believe. More problem equals to more happiness for me.
Exactly, yeah, yeah. And I think that's what people not sometimes get wrong, but it's changing their mindset, which I try and help a lot of people with, is changing their mindset and seeing a positive out of any negative. There always is. Um, so with your mindset at the present time,
Mhm.
what is the best thing you've learned about your mindset going forward? What is the key point?
The key point I would say, just if you climb a mountain, just focus on big mountain,
Yeah, yeah,
because if you have one set of goal and you achieve that, then you have nothing.
yeah, yeah.
Then you lost.
The best views over the hardest climbs, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah,
what you're doing is absolutely amazing,
yeah, yeah,
because people, yeah, I understand people, they feel you're depressed, sad,
yeah,
and you're showing that that's not the problem actually.
yeah,
You
yeah.
just have to find the positive
The
and you
problem's
have to.
always you.
Exactly.
It's not the world.
Yeah.
Like there's it. If you believe in God or you believe in the universe, like the best thing God gave us was the choice to change.
Hmm.
We can change who we are on a daily basis. A lion's always a lion. This
Hmm.
chair is only going to be a chair.
Yeah.
We have every day the chance to change ourselves, whether that's medically, physically, or anything like that. But we have to put structures in place. For instance, your daily habits
Hmm.
keep you productive
Yeah.
because you write them down, you adhere to them, you tick them off. I think a lot of people just go through life and they don't have a fucking clue what avenue to go down.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Like we were speaking when we come down a minute ago. Literally, this road at the back of there. When I
Yeah.
was homeless, I was living in shared accommodation. I had no address like that. And now I'm speaking on a podcast. It's
Exactly.
you don't know what your future's hold unless you just walk a path, and like a path can have roundabouts, it can have dead ends, it can have
Yep.
turns, but
Yep.
as long as you still get back on that path and go forward, and I think that's what you show is resilience to the maximum, and you dominate your field. You're not just a kind person. You'll have a conversation with anyone. Do you know what I mean? You will help anyone because if you were very egotistical, where it's all about you, which it is, which is great because it's your life, but you help people on the way. No one stays successful just by helping themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. I agree.
So I've written some questions down
Yeah.
so I didn't forget them.
Interesting.
So there's 15 questions here. You've got to pick a number between 1 and 15.
Yeah.
So I want you to pick a number and I'm going to read the question out and you've got to answer.
Okay, I'll go with number 7.
7.
Make it easy.
Mate, you've chosen a question. What's an insult you've received that you're proud of?
Insult.
Yeah. How's is someone insulted you but you're actually proud of?
I would just say the recent one which I'd mentioned.
Yeah.
Just attacking my team, saying the bad thing about me,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
to work with me,
Yeah.
and I feel that that's a good thing.
Because that's cemented. No, I'm not like that. It's completely wrong.
Yeah, and they feel threatened. Me that is good. I'm going the right path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone trying to bring you down.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Pick another number between 1 and 15.
12.
12.
These all are my basketball jersey number, actually.
So they all have meaning.
Yeah.
What has been? This is going to be a pretty easy question. What is your least favorite job to date?
Least favorite job.
Yeah. And it could be anything. Say, for instance, because you're in property.
Yeah.
What is the least favorite job you had to do? So, for instance, if it was in property, is it checking the property? Is it this and that, or is it the military? Or was it before that? Did you have a job before the military?
Just I would say sourcing houses.
So it's now
Yeah.
don't like it, or
I mean, I'm just busy with collecting payments. My
Yeah.
team go and find the houses. I just teach them.
Okay, got you. Yeah. And another number.
I'll go to 14.
14.
Yeah.
Tell me about the most three influential people in your life and how they have impacted you.
Wow, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Number 1, Grant Cardone, which I was listening his podcast when I came up here.
Yeah. And why is that?
And the reason is because his energy, man. He's 60 years old, man, right?
Yeah.
And if you can check his videos, his journey, everything from drug addict to billionaire now.
Yeah.
The energy he puts in, that's just, I just follow him, actually.
Yeah.
If you see all my journey, I just follow him.
Yeah.
I'm doing this event like InspireX event where I'm bringing different guest speakers from different industry who are successful, and
You're bringing people together.
exactly. I learned that from Grant Cardone 10x.
Yeah.
And I promised myself I'll fill up the Wembley Stadium
Yeah,
one
yeah,
day
yeah.
with bring all
I'll
the.
best be there, bro.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Perfect. So Grant Cohn's the first one.
Yeah. Second is
one.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And why? Because obviously there's a bit of controversy about him.
Yeah.
Mainly because how he speaks and how he comes across.
Yeah.
So give me some good points about him.
I mean, yes. So there are things that he talks about which I don't agree with. I mean, I don't agree with anyone, 100%. I would say you just have to pick up the right things. You can learn anything from anyone, right? So the things I learned from him, like I said, happiness equals problems equals happiness.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where you got it from.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And my duty is to make sure my family, they're provided, protected.
Yeah.
Right. They are my priority.
Yeah.
Make sure they are provided, and I work on myself. I go to gym, meet good network people, learn from them, and keep on growing and build a really good team.
Yeah.
Who can help each other when they need each other. I think these are the things I learned from him, actually.
Yeah. I do love that because I think he is he's controversial in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
I love him, and then some things he shouldn't say, but people get so enticed about drama and bullshit. All the good he's done he's probably saved so many men's lives.
100%.
People don't speak about that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And because they want to see a narrative, they want to see this one little thing. Do you know what I mean? Which possibly is true, possibly isn't true, but all the good he's done in the world. Like you say, you can do a million things good, one thing wrong. Everyone's always going to remember you by that.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So number 3.
Number 3. Let's go. Number 3. No.
I'm not saying number 3. We've got 3 people, bro. We've got Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
We've got Andrew Tate, and there's one more.
Myself.
Yourself.
No,
I like that. Yeah, no, that's good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. These are the. I mean,
I
mainly.
thought you were going to say your wife, but
Grant Cardone and Tate. Yeah, these are the people I follow and just
you
listen
need a
to.
third one, bro.
Um,
Don't
third.
cop out on yourself.
Third one. How's the third one? Third one who I follow? Yeah, I remember now. Patrick Bet David.
I don't know him. Who's that?
He's entrepreneur and
Yeah.
he does the podcast and everything show.
Yeah.
Yeah, do check his content. It's
Yeah.
very, very helpful and really, I mean, informative.
I
This
might,
guy,
I might have seen his stuff. I'm just.
yeah, I think you have seen him. So he's basically. Do you remember my video regarding Blue Ocean strategy?
Yeah.
I learned that from him.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
basically, he had an insurance company.
Yeah.
He sold for, I mean, the number is disclosed,
Yeah.
over a few hundred millions.
Yeah.
And the way he built his industry is very different.
Yeah.
So he opened his insurance company.
Mhm.
Then he looked on Red Ocean where there is too much shark and it is full
Okay,
of
yeah,
blood. Then he focused on Hispanic community where it's growing rapidly and no one is focusing on that.
So you're trying to pinpoint his avenue.
He shifted his company over there, and that's what I learned from him actually.
Okay, yeah. I'll have to definitely have a look at him.
Yeah,
like.
have a look. Yeah, it's worth it.
So, as we're coming to the end of the podcast, obviously, massively appreciate coming down, Nick. Like, I appreciate it massively.
Thank you so much for having me as well.
I've got some closing questions for you. I'm going to pick these ones.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, what 3 books have you that you'd recommend to your audience and why?
Nice. Number 1 is Blue Ocean, which I'm studying at
Blue
the
Ocean,
moment.
yeah.
And number 2 is The Power of Thinking Big.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. I think I read this book 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, just shows you the way where like word can offer so many things.
Yeah.
Right. Number 2 and number 3 is 10x by Grant Cardone.
Yeah. I haven't read that book. Is it good?
It's really amazing.
Yeah,
It just shows you the way that you have to, if you're doing something, do it in 10x way, like 10 different ways.
Don't just do it for doing it.
Exactly. That's what I follow with social media. If I'm raising finance from social media, not only from Instagram, Facebook,
every single
TikTok,
method.
Twitter, everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good.
Because all it takes is one person to invest in you.
Yeah.
People, I think, think they need to get a lot of investors. You could have one investor that could be a millionaire, a billionaire, and that's you set for life.
Yep. And that guy I met yesterday, he said like, if I put 1 million, 2 million in a company, what I can get.
Yeah.
I said like, I need to know you what you want before I offer anything. I think he liked that answer. He's really.
You've got to, because people see it as a money thing. Like, I'll take. But firstly, we need to know what your goals are, and then we can work on that and go forward. I like that. That's really good. So, where can your listeners find you offline if they want to listen to your podcast?
Yeah.
Your social media hangs and stuff like that. So, where can they find you?
You just type Nik Dhimal in any social media. I'm there.
Nik Dhimal, yeah?
Yeah.
Any social media?
Any social media.
Because you're doing great things on TikTok as well. I've seen your videos. They're very good because you're doing a niche into your kind of background, which is amazing. And obviously your Instagram, social medias, and anything about property or anything like that, can people contact you for any advice? If, let's say, for any investors are on here looking, can they contact you if they want to go forward? Yeah,
sure. They can contact me either social media, Instagram or Facebook, or nikdhimal.com, our website. They can contact me through website.
Perfect. So when this goes out, I will obviously put all his tag hands on there and stuff like that. But Nick, massively appreciated, bro, for coming along. It's a pleasure as always.
Thank you so much for having me as well.
Take care, bro. Yeah.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing week for the Mindset Soldier.
Nice.
That went really well, I think.